We found a $1,000 Hilux that had been flooded up over the roof not once, but twice.
Action! Doesn't look much now, but this is going to be the best of the two.
Most people would have sent this thing straight to scrap, but not Berkey.
Oh. Welcome back.
Back from the show, and the push is on. 3 weeks, it's on a truck, up to Cairns.
You can see it is nowhere near ready for Cape.
He decided to put it in the backyard and rebuild it.
Righto, well, as we roll one out of your driveway, at least you don't have too much to do on this one.
No, it looks pretty straightforward, this one, really.
Yeah.
And now it's crunch time.
What a mess.
"12 months ago, I had an idea. Me and Navs had been taking this 30-year-old Hilux named Billy around Australia, and we thought, why not go on a trip of a lifetime and take the old girl to the tip of Australia. Now, this thing has surprised the hell out of us on some of the trips we've done, but we've never really pushed it to its full limit.
Give it some, go, go, go! Uh-oh.
Stop!
But there was a problem. I told Nav, me and Berkey were going to take it to the tip of Australia. And well, Nav wasn't overly impressed the fact we were going to take his Hilux. So we had a problem. 3 blokes and 1 car. So we figured, let's build another one. Before I was even on the hunt for another Hilux, Berkey told me that he's secretly been stripping one down in his backyard. He bought it for $1,000, a 1994 farm truck that had been flooded twice and needed a full rebuild. We set out to work and completely overhauled the whole vehicle over the last 12 months. Now, this thing has been getting prepped for an absolute trip of a lifetime. Word quickly spread around about what we were planning. And before long, a few of our good mates had set out to get their own Hiluxes, and they wanted to tag along for the ride. And now it's crunch time. We're only a few weeks out from a trip, and we are working around the clock to get this second Hilux built from the ground up and make sure it's ready for the mission ahead. Last time you saw us, Berkey had just finished off some of the modifications on Billy, the white Hilux, getting it ready for the Cape. After this, we headed off to retrieve the red Hilux, which has been getting panel beating works done in the background. And it didn't take long before Berkey started to put this thing back together.
Bit of a fail. Around, found out. Dan came over because I've been having some dreaded head problems, I believe, on this bloody thing. It's just been pressurising the cooling system. This is just bubbling away as soon as you start it. He's got a pressure transducer gauge that you hook up to your computer, and we rigged it up so we had it on the radiator here, so the cooling system was completely closed. This was just blowing up because we didn't have it relieved. But we were hoping, then cracking, so we're running it. We had our pressure transducer here, monitoring on the graph, cracking an injector on each cylinder to try and relieve it, and then watching our graph and see if it would change our reading to see if we can pinpoint our cylinder failure, just to try and know exactly where to look. If there's a crack, well, there is a crack or something, or gasket or whatever. So then we can look and go, all right, number 3, when we release the pressure out of that, it changed, and that's where we can look. But diesel, it's really rattly, and we think just the sheer idle of the motor, and when you crack the injector, she just runs like a bag of shit. It's the vibration is sending it through because the pressure transducer is so sensitive that it's just giving us it's not nothing that's clear enough to say, yep, that's the point. Pretty confident there's definitely something off the head. Like you said, this almost just blows up. This is just bubbling straight away. So it sucks because when I got this, straight away I was just like suspension, did my drop hanger, and then I was like, oh, well, I'll take the radiator out. And then I was like, I barely run it doesn't matter. I'll just do the timing belt, camshaft seal, water pump, all that stuff, and put it all back together, and now it's all to come off. So that sucks. But this happens. This does happen. All that work coming off. So obviously exhaust manifold off, inlet manifold off, all these cooling lines off, air con off, timing belt, blah, 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 blah. And then, yeah,
Now, I mentioned earlier that a few other mates wanted to tag along. Now, there's no competition this time. It's just good mates, budget cars on a mission to get them all to the tip of Australia. Right around the time we finished tidying up Nav's car, all the other boys had secured their Hiluxes and they were ready to start their own builds. While every car on this trip had to be an LN106, that was the criteria. There's going to be a range of builds on this trip, ranging from mild to wild. So it's going to be really interesting to see how the old unbreakable Hiluxes go.
Spewing. I've done all this and it's even got the date on there. I actually did this a long time ago, but this pulley here has got to come off the crank to get this cover off. And I remember when I put it on, I had a 3/4 rattle gun and I was like, I won't be back. Bit of Loctite, rattle gun. Now, I was hoping I could get it off without taking the radiator out, but that's why I had the radiator out to begin with, so now I've got to take all that back out. So I can come through here, rattle gun back on. Fuck the joys.
I hope you guys are enjoying this series as much as I am. Now look, you know we love to give away prizes for you guys to get out there and live the Explore life. And well, this month is no exception. This one is an absolute ripper. And all you have to do, guys, to be involved is grab any item from the online store. Right now, you can grab t-shirt, hat, sticker, even a stubby cooler. We'll put you in the draw to win this and get you out there living the Explore life. Don't miss out. Get over there today, and thank you very much for all the support. It keeps us out here putting this free content together for you guys. Back to the episode.
I think I bitten off a bit more than I can chew here. But we're in. So far, not super great looking. There's crud on the pistons, which is to be expected. We're at 400,000 Ks. So, and I don't think she's been opened before. Head gasket wise, I'm not sure, but the fact that I've got coolant already in here probably isn't a good sign. Flip this over and I'll see what I can see. Well, nothing's jumping out at me. Which sucks, because I thought there'd be something catastrophic that would just be like, yep, that's the problem. But I haven't found that yet. So possibly a crack or something that I can't quite see. Again, nothing really jumping out. Love it.
With all the parts starting to arrive, Berkey was straight into this thing. The chassis and the diffs on Ron Burgundy were getting prepped for some major work. He had some pretty wild plans to make this thing perform better off-road, and that included whole new steering configuration, full new leaf spring setup for the front and rear. Now, you would have seen we did a pretty good job on old Billy, and the upgrades to Nav's Hilux were pretty bloody good. But I tell you what, Berkey has taken this thing to another level.
Idiot. I was like, I'll just burn that bad boy on and then went too hot and put too much heat straight into that, and I've blown a hole in it. Whoops. There's a lesson for you. A little bit bummed about welding through the housing there, because I've had it before. Our factory weld has leaked on a diff housing, so the oil just weeps out and it's super annoying and stuff, and get inside the center. So I welded over it, diagrammed that section out that I wasn't super happy with, and then ran a good fillet over that. So fingers crossed that's got us sorted. I cleaned her out with thinners, wire brush, the whole deal, because I didn't want this weeping. It's a real shame. It's thinner than what I thought. You can almost hear. You can hear how thin that is. That's why you put the guards on.
because you could literally just kiss a rock and that would be caving straight in on your ring gear. We're on. That one's on. That one was a bit difficult to get to, but it was worth it. I did pretty well there. I'm happy with that. Just had to fill it, and then I just sort of cleaned her up with the die grinder. Only because she's a schmicko fit there. I didn't want any issues later on when I go to put that in, and there's not going to be now. So I'm very happy with the Buds Customs one. It's just hugs it super tight. This bead looks undercut, but it's all sealed the whole way. So it's a really good fit. Now, while I was doing that, I was thinking of this. I'm just going to cut it off. If we do need to weld it back on, just weld it back on later. It's not going to work for our high steer setup. We're not going to use a steering dampener. Kind of sucks, but you know, that's how it is. I think if I leave it there, it's kind of a bit like, oh, what's that there? It's not doing anything. So, and it just gets in the way. On the other one, I left it there, and I sliced through here, put the box through it, and then buzzed it all back together. So the other one still has the steering dampener bracket, but it doesn't really matter. Figure this one, we'll just cut her off. Okay, so it's raining. Sucks, but done pretty much. The brace is on, that pumpkin guard's on, it's primed up. Just give it a bit of a rattle can black when this rain disappears. And actually, I don't know what to do with this. This is a torque rod. I've got sort of mixed opinions, or I've done a bit of research and I can't find a clear answer. AI's like, yep, flick it off. Seen a couple of people leave them on because it's sort of close but doesn't foul. I think I'd like to leave it because it just gives me the option if I ever did want to go back. Not that I'm going to want to, but you never know. I'll just have to get some clarification. That's about it. I think tomorrow I might just lop these off while I've got the diff out. Give me heaps of access. I should probably do my brace and hoops and everything. So I'll touch base and see where they're at. Back to head work tonight. Got to clean this block up. Check that all this is flat and okay. Otherwise I have to take the motor out and deck it, which I really don't want to do. So at the moment I'm just going to get rid of all the heavy corrosion. I'll put a stone on it, something flat, and then check for low spots. With just a bit of, you can see, actually it's pretty hard to see on the camera. It's super wet in here. And there is a bit of like a watermark line in there on that cylinder, so that one's been the worst, has been water in that one. The rest probably aren't too bad. You can see the cooling holes here, like that one, that cooling hole there. Gallery's completely blocked. That one was the same, I just opened it up. So it's just a matter of going through it. The balls aren't too bad actually. You can see a bit of cross hatchings. Oh goodness. That light is not good. That's the top of the pistons. So 400,000 I think is actually pretty good. She's been a good week on the buy this week. Whew. Excited as we've got our front chassis brace, front shock hoops, IFS steering box. We got our pitman arm, trail gear. We've got steering shaft extension, nuts for our tie rod ends. We've got ring and pinion gear sets for front and rear, and high steer, whatever you want to call them, knuckly doobie lacquers for on top here. So we got a lot of work ahead of us in the next couple of days. These ones, oh, get that pull out of the way. These ones chopped off there. This one's got to get missing off there. That one there is getting lopped off. Steering box going. And on top of all that, the head's done, so I need to do the head as well. So a busy week. Exciting. Okay, so your torque rod. There it is there. It's fixed to the chassis up in there. And it goes to here on your diff. When you've got this push-pull steering setup, horrible idea, but when you've got that, I think this is why they've got the torque rod, to try and eliminate any like rolling action of your diff. But now that we're going into high steer, which runs from your steering box down to here, and then relay bar from there back to here, like your patrols and cruises and all that, this is redundant. And also, because your crossover steering's coming over this way now, this is all going to be in the way. Steering box is here with your pitman arm, so that's going to foul on the mount. So the mount's going to come off the chassis, and I'm pretty certain you might get away with it if you just knock that off, but we're not using it, so she's coming off. That's good enough, bit of paint, won't even know. Next one, now we've got the torque rod out, is this bracket. Gee, it's a gnarly looking bracket. It's got full welds right around it. So you've got a strengthening bit all the way up there. That's going to be a bit of a pain. And I don't really know how I'm going to take that out yet. I'm going to try and, I think, cut through there, get that out of the way, clean the top of the rail because it's welded right up in and around there. And I'm going to have to, I don't know, cut around and chop that bad boy out. One of your mates sees this and he's like, "Oh, go on now, Len. Mate, can you just take that off?" Say no, because that's a bit difficult. It kind of sucks. She's all cleaned up, but it wasn't a great experience. A lot of grinding dust, absolutely everywhere. I had it all on me. I got some burns. But it's off. I've got it really nice and flush, so once it's painted you won't even know there was one there. So that's good. Now I'm going to take this off. I want to take these off. Excited, nervous. Once they're off there's no turning back really. Yeah, that's about it. Steering box will then have to come off. I might try this one. Alright, if you haven't seen, Buds is the go-to. So, up down there, I've got these shock towers. I hummed and hard about this because you could probably cut this out here if you wanted to go higher. Or if you had a body lift, obviously that's going to bring the cab off the chassis, again make your end higher. You could probably go really high and cut right out this. And I mean, performance wise it'd be way better, but I don't really want to cut it because it's going to be a good body and everything. So, and legality and whatnot. So, it's a bit hard to see. Hold on, let's see if I can. Rough as guts. That's kind of our height gain there for the shock without cutting into the body. So pretty heavy because there's two there, but I'll see if I can hold it up again. Oh. It's not a gigantic, massive gain, but you're probably looking at nearly 3 inches. And as they say, every inch counts. Oh, there is grinding dust everywhere. I have to blow that off because I don't want it to go rusty. Might take some measurements and then hack some stuff off. Absolutely no turning back from this one. Actually, pretty well constructed. No wonder these aren't breakable. I didn't even realise that back one went all the way out there for extra strength. Impressive Toyota. No wonder these last so long. The only issue I can see, but doesn't have much weight on it because the leaf is there to here, but the chassis comes down, really thins up here, and it comes back out. So I've got that plate, chassis support plate that we're going to weld on along here. It picks up off this hole, another hole there, and this one. Can't muck it up then. It's got holes, slots, so you can put your shock mount in there, and the holes are all there for the steering box. Can't stuff it up. There's no guessing, mucking around and setting your steering box up, wondering where your shock tower is going to be. Simples. So looking forward to that bit.
Well, as you can see, there is some pretty big jobs happening on this vehicle, and it always takes way longer than we first thought. Now, I want to know from you guys, if you were to take one old four-wheel drive with your mates to the tip of Australia, what would it be? Let us know which car you take to the top, and just for getting involved in the comments, guys, we're going to throw you a $200 Explore Life voucher. For one lucky winner, you can get over there and shout yourself some Explore gear. Appreciate everyone getting involved. Make sure you chuck a like on this series if you are enjoying it.
Paint day. Pretty keen, pretty excited. It's good. It'd be good to see some colour on it. Stop looking at it as a bit of a shitter. I dropped it off yesterday, had the car trailer, so heading out there now. Just heading out to my mate's house, Benny. He's the one that's going to paint it. And just going to lend him a hand, be the TA for the day. So pretty keen. Weather's looking okay, showers throughout the day, but get it done. She's just a good backyard job, I reckon. So let's see how she goes. And the old Benny, he ripped in last night. Jesus, I was a bit late this morning. I slept in. Whoa. She's good to go. Taped up. Oh, I didn't even help him. I feel pretty bad about that. There's the big fella there. There he is. I'm so excited to get some paint on this.
Right, I don't know about you, but Nardo Grey on the LN. Oh! It's only the primer. God, Bergie, we should have done it.
No.
It would have looked sick.
It's just because it's uniform once it's all.
It would have looked so different.
Too different.
Let us know in the comments, should we have done Nardo Grey to match the Ram?
Remember
it would have
what
been a mini Ram.
Remember what we learned at school?
We didn't learn anything.
It's simple, stupid.
That doesn't get any simpler than primer.
Well, hold on, go first, go.
It does in there.
That's sick.
Should be good.
No turning back now. Colour time. She's gonna pop. She's gonna be very, very flash.
Yeah. I went up there and had a look.
Good morning. She was a 4:30 start this morning. We got up bright and early. It's a Tuesday. We painted this on the Saturday. I was going to pick up yesterday, but it was raining, and I didn't want to wreck the new paint job. Oh, they got the guards on. Look at that colour. I don't know why, but this looks way better than the Merlot 79. Can't wait to get this out in the sun. Wow. Big shout out to Benny. He even put the guards back on for me. A couple of bolts in them just to hold them there, make it look pretty for the show. We got the trailer. We got the car trailer here at the moment. We're going to go out. We're just going to load her up. This is all just so we could get her down to the show so you guys could have a look, but this colour. Well done, Berkey. This is actually such a nice colour to paint this car. Wow.
Now, after scouring Marketplace and looking for a beautiful tray to match our clean new paint job, I ended up actually getting onto the team at Enhanced Autowerks, and they said they would love to help. So we threw a few ideas around and we ended up with one hell of a plan.
Righto, well, while Berkey is flat out on the toad right now, Matt sent me up to Enhanced Autowerks up in Stapleton with Nav's Lux. We're using this right now because Matt, well, he's going to step it up a level. We've got the tray on the back here, using it for a few specs and measurements because the boys here, they're going to rip in and build a wicked tray for the toad.
While Tommy was helping the boys out getting some dimensions, Berkey was busy trying to plan a bull bar for the front end. Now, I gave me good mate Macca a call from Froth and Race Parts. I gave him a ring because I'd seen a bull bar that he'd once done for an old LN106. And before long, me and him and Berkey had an idea.
Quite a special guest today. You may know him from such things as How I Met Your Mother and Debbie Does Fabrication, but most importantly, Froth and Race Parts. Come to do a bull bar. Here he comes now. Cannot wait.
Alright, as you can tell, there is a lot of moving parts going on here. Neither of the vehicles are even close to finish yet, but we're only a couple of weeks away from our deadline, and it's not looking good. But you'll have to stay tuned next week to find out if we manage to get these builds done in time, or is this finally the time where we push ourselves a little bit too far. We might be Fred Flintstoning all the way to the top.